Yeah, the Opie and Anthony thing, if you don't know, our friends, Opie and Anthony Cumia was in New York City, and he was taking photographs, and he got a photograph of a woman. And this woman got very upset that he took a photograph of her, so some sort of an altercation took place. Some words were exchanged, and she started hitting him. So she was hitting him, and if you don't know Anthony, you don't know that he's a gun nut, like a legit gun nut who actually has a license to conceal carry in New York City, which is incredibly difficult to obtain. But here's one strike for people who want people to have guns. Anthony never pulled out that gun. Never. I mean, he obviously felt threatened. He was getting hit by this one woman who, Anthony's a nice guy, but he is, 51 years old, loves his drinking, and I don't think he lifts weights that much. It's not like he's this like big, scary, Quentin Jackson, Rampage Jackson looking dude. He's a thin guy. He's not a physically imposing guy, and this chick is beating on him, and he's got a gun on him. I wasn't there, so obviously I don't know what the tone of the situation was. I don't know how it got started. I've read very little about it other than he went on this rampage, calling her an animal and a cunt and all this different shit. But what's hilarious is everything that he said in his Twitter rampage that they're firing him for, he said on the radio show, and they hired him for. The radio show, if you paid attention to what he said over the years and why he's entertaining and how he says it, he gets crazy about racial situations. He gets crazy about certain aspects of the African American community, and he's done it forever. And so these things that he said after getting punched, that they were surprising to Sirius, who had heard him say these things, and they gave him checks. It's kind of hilarious. And also, like, one of the things that people are pointing out all over the Twitter sphere is they're showing all these lyrics to rap songs that Sirius has aired since Anthony got fired for tweeting, and the lyrics are ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, oh yeah, dude, it's hardcore rap. They air hardcore rap lyrics. So they've got, nigga this and suck my dick and this bitches and that bitches. And, the craziest, most radical, hip hop shit. And yet Anthony gets in trouble for this thing that he did where he went on this Twitter rampage and said a bunch of shit that I bet if someone was a real Opie and Anthony fan, you could probably go back through all the Opie and Anthony shows and piece together him actually saying those words that are in those tweets.
That Sirius makes money off of racism.
That Sirius makes money off of. Well, you know what, man? Here's the thing.
I think what happens is that these companies get really terrified of the Twitter storm that they get. Like you saw that with, you see it all the time with sponsors for Rush Limbaugh. But you see it with, or I believe conservative radio in general, you see it with, like Donald Trump had I forget what it was, a tie collection or some shit at Macy's. Then there were all these people on Twitter, like tweeting the Macy's account, like, don't support him. Because I don't even remember what the issue was, but once it gets going, the company feels overwhelmed. And they're like, we have to respond because 1,000 people just retweeted this thing. And I think they just feel like the best route is the 48 Laws of Power thing, where you just put a head on the chopping block and think later.
Oh, I see their point of view. I do. But I don't think they were fans of the Opie and Anthony show. That's what I think is part of what's going on. I don't think they listened. I think there were a lot of people complaining.
They just like the money coming in.
It's a good show. Yeah. It's a great show. It's the reason why we're doing this show. The reason why we're doing this show is because of Opie and Anthony in a lot of ways. There's a direct chain of influences. One of them being Tom Green. Tom Green had his own show in his house way back in the day, and I remember going over there and be like, this is the craziest shit ever. He's got a server room. He's got a goddamn server room with cables all through his living room, and he turned his living room into a television show. He just did it a little too early. He had a great, innovative idea. He did it a little too early. That influenced us. Anthony Cumia influenced me greatly when he did Live at the Compound. He does this thing Live at the Compound where he set up a studio in his house in Long Island. And in his basement, he has a green screen, and he'll fucking sing while he's holding guns. Dude, he's singing songs. He's singing karaoke while he's holding assault rifles, all right? And that, I don't know if they ever paid attention to that, but that shit is hilarious. And I saw him doing that while he was still on Opie and Anthony. He was doing it just for fun. And I was like, oh my God, this is genius. He set up a green screen. He set up a real, like, professional stage with a green screen. And behind the green screen, he would have, like, video of Manhattan, or he would have, like I was going to totally steal that idea. I might still put a green screen behind me for, if we do get that TriCaster thing, that would do it in respect to Anthony.
I have a green screen in my apartment.
You do?
Yeah.